the end of the year signifies Christmas, but I think a bigger milestone event in India is 31st December. That is New Year's Eve, what is called the New Year's Eve, and how most people like to celebrate New Year's Eve. I think the importance of Christmas is different to different people. For kids, it's because it's a longish Christmas break, nice long holiday you get. For adults, probably it's a bit of a pain because kids are at home. But I think in today's IT context, most MNCs are also closed during Christmas because clients overseas are closed for Christmas. So I think even in India, back office people also tend to get a bit of a holiday. And I think even manufacturing has kind of borrowed this concept, and if not for the whole week, at least 2-3 days off everybody gets. So maybe 24, 25, 26 or, things like that. But I think in India, a big ticket event, and I think you know this from Buena Vista, big ticket event is 31st December, which is New Year's Eve. And at that time, typically I know this for a fact that by October, most resorts are booked because people want to either celebrate with their families or with their friends or a combination of friends and families. And 31st December is really the day you let your hair down, It's your way, it's your cathartic way of saying the bygone year is bygone and I'm not going to think about it. And I'm only going to look forward to what is going to happen tomorrow. So here there is a tradition, in India, that on 1st January, whatever you do, whatever new activity you do, you tend to continue it the whole year. So first morning, even if you have a bad hangover, many people go for a run. On 1st January, even if you don't feel like waking up early enough, many people do go for an early breakfast or whatever. So there is this belief that first is the harbinger of the rest of the year.
Yes.
So whatever activity you do,
yes.
It's quite likely you will continue. We say this even for our Hindu New Year, which is Ugadi and all of that. We say the same thing, that today if you're active, today if you're nice, today if you're kind, for the rest of the year,
yes.
that same emotion will continue. How is it in France?
In France, for my part, is different because, in hospitality industry, this period is very difficult. Right. You have a lot of stress, because 31st December, menu is very expensive.
Right.
You use a lot of food, very expensive, right. Foie gras, truffe, right. And this is very expensive. And you have a lot of stress. So for hospitality industry is very difficult. But
you must have been very busy in the kitchen, no?
Yes, you are very busy.
So you didn't enjoy any 31st December?
You enjoy because you have a lot of stress and you like the stress in kitchen. Okay. But every time when I work in France, I'm making like you. My stress is finished in 31st.
By midnight?
By 3 a.m.
Okay.
But from tradition, first morning, right. I'm running. Oh. I'm running because I like running. Okay. And for me, running is important. And if you're making a good run on 1st January, you will running after without problem. And I remember when I go to see my guest in a restaurant, I tell, tomorrow I will run, you will come. Oh yes, we will come with you, we'll come with you. Come. I sleep at 4 a.m. I wake up 6 a.m. Okay. I'm waiting on parking. Nobody is coming. 6:15, I tell, okay, I will run alone. But it's a tradition in France, running or making one activity. Okay. A lot of swimmers in France, okay. 1st January at 7, 8 a.m., they're going swimming. Oh, but really? Imagine, they're not swimming in swimming pools, they're right. swimming in sea right. or in lake. Oh, okay. And imagine, 1st January, 8 a.m., lake water is 1-2 degrees.
Okay.
But they're living this. Is a tradition.
It's interesting. Because for me, I don't remember as a child or as a teenager or even later, in my 20s, in my early 20s, I don't remember 31st December being any important. It was just another day, okay? It's only after I got married that 31st December became a milestone in the year, to the extent that we would have parties. Friends would, colleagues, all of us would get together, and typically, forever and ever, it was always my house, where we would host the parties. So there would be barrels and barrels of beer, lots of, hard liquor. Basically, the whole idea was music, dancing, drinking, making merry, screaming your head off at midnight, wishing everybody. And then many times everybody would go home just when the milk van would arrive, which is around 4:35 in the morning. That, for the longest time, I remember, used to be my 31st December. All that changed in the year 2013, and I will tell you how it changed. Between, let's say, the late 90s, maybe late 90s and 2013, largely 31st December was about office parties. Since I was in the corporate sector and I was a part of the senior leadership team, and like I said, my house was always the venue for office parties, we would always have our corporate parties, okay? And corporate parties are boring because nothing changes. People don't change, food doesn't change, alcohol doesn't change, music doesn't change, rarely anything changes. So it was pretty much like that. In 2013, for the first time, I went to the Kutch region, that is Gujarat, okay? The salt pans of Gujarat and Rani Ki Vav, and I did a lot of trekking there. So on 31st December, for the first time, I trekked in Gujarat. And somehow it occurred to me that this was a far more pleasant way of, wrapping up the year and beginning the new year than just, enjoying an office party or whatever. So since 2013, Dominique, every 31st December, I have been on top of a summit. So trekking has become the most important. So this episode, let's talk about our holiday plans post-Christmas. So starting with Christmas, going on through the New Year's Eve, and then returning home maybe 3rd or 4th January. Okay, how do you spend the last week of the year holidaying and maybe creating some meaning in your life?
Yes, without tension and
without tension, and doing what you love most. And for me, a physical activity always, makes me a new person. So trekking is always a good way to wind down and charge myself up for the coming year. Okay, so did you? No, you've never had an opportunity to trek on 31st December.
No.
I remember 2020, our COVID year. I came and spent the 31st December with you at Buena Vista.
Yes.
You remember? And I was part of
the
hotel celebration. And then I think I came and slept off by about 1 o'clock. I don't know what time you came and joined.
Yes, because it's not what you enjoy.
Right.
Yes.
Right. Okay. So 2013, I've written it down actually because I'll never remember otherwise. So 2013 was Gujarat, lot of trekking in Gujarat. 2014, suddenly upped the ante and went to Sikkim. And I did Kanchenjunga Base Camp. Okay, did Yumthang Valley and Kanchenjunga Base Camp. 2015, this gorgeous place called Wilderness in the Chorla Ghats in the Western Ghats region, Maharashtra region. 2016, I'm going to dedicate an episode to what I did on 31st December 2016. This was at a beautiful place called Hotel Everest in Shangboche in the Himalayan region. 2017, Nandini and I did the most difficult rock climb, Mount Kinablu, which is billed as as an extreme rock climb. We first did that on 31st December. We climbed Mount Kinablu, and then she and I went. This was in Borneo, and then we went to a place called Mabul, where she went to Sipadan for her 100th scuba dive. She celebrated her 100th scuba dive in Sipadan. 2018, 31st December, we were in Varkala Beach in Kerala. That was beautiful. 2019, we went to Pondicherry. 2021, you remember we were in Uttarakhand.
Yes.
And it was that trek that made us decide to move to Dehradun.
Beautiful trek.
Tiba and what was it called? Bhadram. And then 2022, we did Himachal, you remember?
Yes.
Hatu Peak, Sirolsar Lake, Chitkul. 23, you and I went to Panditahalli trek. Remember Malwali, Georgia, and
yes.
The sunshine.
Beautiful moment.
Beautiful that was. And this year, 2024, 28th December to 3rd January, we're planning to do Hampi, Badami, Aihole, Pattadakal. I want to show the UNESCO heritage sites to Dominique. And of course, we're going to catch up with a lot of trekking. And hopefully North Karnataka in December is the only time that you can visit. That's the only time the weather kind of is good and we can have some fun. So yeah. So in our books, and pretty much Dominic and I for the last 4 years haven't missed a single opportunity, except 2020, we haven't missed a single opportunity to be on top of the mountain.
Yes.
How has it been for you, this kind of a trekking on 31st December?
But it's totally different what I make before, you know. For me, I tell you, 25 till 2 is stress. Right. Now I enjoy and discover. I remember my first trek with you for 31st in Uttarakhand.
Right.
Was very beautiful. I tell, my God, I enjoy this moment. Right. It's not a one period. We cross a lot of people because a lot of people are most interesting to purchase liquor and this. Right. And here you are in mountain, you are alone. Yeah. And you enjoy this moment for tell, okay, I have a time for thinking all I make this year. Right. And I project myself for this new year. Right.
So it's nice. You are part of nature, and then you go to the lap of nature and you try reconnecting. It's almost as if you are initiating a new kind of a dialogue with the mountain, with the forest, with the river. And you know, Dominic, I always maintain this. Treks for me, of course, have been about discovery. But the biggest discovery for me has been about myself. You know, things which I'm very proud of about myself. Yeah. Things which I am very ashamed to admit even to myself in the mirror. I've discovered both the good things and the bad things about myself. Okay? But the way I look at every single trek, somebody once told me that she likes sea more than the mountains because sea is different. Every sea is different and every mountain is the same. And I disagreed with her. Every mountain is different. Every trek is different. No two treks are the same, even if all the conditions of the trek, including the altitude, are the same. No two treks are the same, okay? And if you go with that arrogance that I have done this and therefore I will be able to do it, the mountain will teach you a lesson and you probably won't be able to summit it all. And I have trekked all kinds of trails. I have trekked summit trails. I've trekked, up and down trails. I've trekked dirt trails. I've trekked boulders. I've trekked rocks. I've trekked on slippery mud, what is called the scree slope, where you have small stones and one wrong footing and then you go down. I've trekked on, what do you call them? Tall grass, which gets stuck in your feet and then kind of tend to pull you down. I've done all kinds of treks, all kinds of trails. And the one thing I have learned is every trail teaches you something about yourself.
Yes.
Both good and bad.
And you know, this idea to tell, I will trek in moment in all people they prepare party.
Right.
It's very good because in myself I tell,
yourself.
Okay, I am extraterrestrial.
Yes.
Everybody they are making party, and me, I will enjoy this moment without party.
Correct.
And I like this idea. Yes, I like this idea.
Okay.
This is very
so
good.
This is, what is it called? Sia. This is a new agave launched in Goa by some friends of ours. So they were kind enough to give us different flavored agave samples. So
it's a good opportunity.
We will break tradition and we will toast to 31st December. Season's greetings and a very, very happy New Year. Cheers!
Happy New Year, everybody.